KP, how you doing?
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for taking time out to have me on your show. When I first saw it, I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I hope one day I'll be able to get on the show one day.
See that? Look.
So yeah.
How God work it out.
Right. So I was excited. I apologize for moving the time back an hour, but I was trying to wrap up everything in my shop, so I wanted to make sure I didn't have any distractions so I could focus fully on the interview.
It's okay. I know I'm dealing with busy folks. When people be in the different tax brackets, it's you got to kind of work around.
Nah. We all busy. I see you working every weekend. You at a different racetrack, different shows, so you working as well.
I'm just working on owning one day.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. Ownership is the goal. How you doing?
Right. So first I wanted to tell you, like I said, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us. I first became aware of you a while ago. And so for me, I like to make sure that I let people know that on my show, it's not about how many followers you have. It's not about how many people you know. It's about all of us are in the car culture. So eventually,
correct,
just about everybody who's in the car culture will make their way to my show. I'm a little bit different than a lot of people. You don't have to have 1 million followers to get on Rydes and Vybes. You just have to have a valid contribution to the car culture. And I do think you have a valid contribution to the car culture.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So let's talk about them beautiful. A lot of people might not notice. The people that have been following me for a while notice. But my first, I'm on my third Camaro, and my first one was a Transformer Edition Bumblebee. So I am in love with yellow and black.
Okay.
That yellow and black stuff you got going on. I almost was gonna try to steal the car when I was at MJ.
Ultimate at the block party.
Yeah. So tell us what made you go with the yellow and black.
Actually, my high school colors were like blue and yellow, and so when I opened my first shop up back in 2010, I had my guys. We had gray uniforms. Well, my first shop in 2009, we had gray uniforms, and they got real dirty. So I just changed it to all black with a yellow crown on it. So ever since then, every shop that I opened up throughout the years in Atlanta, I had everything was black and yellow. So when I decided to get back into the actual car game, because I sold used tires for years, and I said, you know what, I want to make sure my brand, my shop matches my brand, everything runs together. So I said I would do every car that I build, every Camaro that I build, black and yellow. So that's how I came about it.
So what do you have in your arsenal? Because, when you're a car guy, tell us what's in your arsenal of cars. Give us the rundown.
All right, so the one that you saw, I have every generation Camaro except the first gen. So my goal was to I'm trying to build generational wealth, so I want to build something so when I die, I can pass along to my children. If I'm blessed to have another son or daughter, it's something that's going to outlast me down the line. So I got a 72 Camaro split bumper, which is in the shop now getting worked on. I have the 79, which is both of those are like second gen Camaros. I got a 91 IROC that should be done the next 2 weeks. I got the fourth gen, the fishbowl. That's the ugliest one. Nobody liked that one, but I got that one in my collection just to have it. I got the fifth gen, the 2010 through 13. I believe that's the one you say you have as well. And
that's the one I had. That was my first one.
Okay, and I got a 2020. So I think that's I got 7 Camaros. I just bought my wife. I'm a Camaro fan. She likes Chevelle, so we got a Chevelle, 71 Chevelle. I got a 2019 Silverado, the one that you saw that always took my cars around. I got a 86 short bed I'm working on. I got a 2016 Corvette. And what else? I think a Honda. I got like a 1991 Honda Accord that I'm working on as well.
You had to throw a Honda in there?
Yeah, this was my first car. So my dad bought me a Honda when I was 16. And my first Honda, I put some wheels on. I had worked hard all summer. And I put some 17 Lexanas on. I drove for 4 days and somebody stole it. So I said, once I get to the point, I'm going to build me another Honda, make it just like it was back in 2000. So yeah, I got a few cars.
So at this point, you do know you're a car hoarder, right?
I am. I had to come to the realization that this is what I do, it's what I love. So I buy them, I invest in them. It helped build my brand. So that's what I do.
Right. So what made you want to get into tires and wheels?
Well, like I said, I started Tire Kingz in 2007. So I used to sell like used tires. Actually, the biggest used tire dealer in Georgia for years. So we used to I started out tire recycling. So I had these contracts to where I used to go around to all the dealerships in Atlanta, and I pitched them an offer to pick up their scrap tires. So I used to pick up their scrap tires, throw away the bad ones, and I used to resell the good ones. And so I did that from like 2007 up until around, I think I got out of the scrap tire business around 2016. So for years, I had I had four locations. I had a location in Decatur off Covenant Highway, downtown Atlanta, off of Memorial Drive. I had a warehouse in the West End, and the last shop that I currently have is Lithium Springs. And so I did used tires my life for like from 2007 up until like 16. And then I just got bored with it. I needed something more fulfilling. And I've always been into cars, so I started selling, I got into the rims. I started selling rims in like 2017. Ever since then, it just took off.
So was it hard at first with the rims?
It wasn't. I was just, and the reason I never really wanted to sell them because I didn't know. I didn't know bolt patterns. I didn't know fitments. I didn't know where to get them from at a good price, and the markup was. And one of my employees at the time, his name was Junior. Shout out to Junior if you're online. He sold wheels for different companies, so he was always saying, Mike, you can do it, you can do it. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't want to make that large investment. You got to think, I'm getting a used tire for $10 or pretty much $5, and selling it for $50, $60, the profit margin was huge. So I was kind of stuck on that. And I had trucks running throughout the city doing tire recycling. So when I got into it, I started selling like used wheels at first. And I said, okay, this is nice. It was the whole feeling of taking a car that was looked this way and seeing the end result. It was more fulfilling. So I just start going heavy in it.
Right. So what has been your biggest adversity being a rim distributor in Atlanta?
The growing pains at first of not having the right equipment and not having the right help. When you start out selling wheels, I started out with like Atlas machines because that's what I had for used tires, and not being able to balance custom wheels right, or not being able to mount certain wheels because of the lack of equipment, to being able to get my funding together, getting better equipment, and then getting the guys that do tire technicians, get them trained on mountain balancing and doing alignments correctly. So my biggest issue always been personnel, trying to keep good help, and keep them in long enough to where you can make that jump and be able to mount up enough wheels throughout the year so people can see it and want to keep business coming in. So that's the biggest issue. Any business, especially right now, is having the right personnel in place to get the job done. Because when the customer get here, they don't want to hear excuses of why you can't get it done. You know, they see you doing the line, they want to come. I want it done today, right now. So that's one of the big issues.
So tell us everything that your shop does.
We do wheels, tires, alignments, brakes, suspension. We do truck lifts. I'm real big on truck lifts side of town with 6-inch, 8-inch, everything big wheels. We do. I'm easing into the LS swaps. The problem is I lack of mechanics. My father might take my best mechanic. He's 63 years old, so he travels all the way from South Carolina every week to help me out and get things I need done. But the bulk of it is wheels, tires, suspension. That's what I try to focus on. Wheels, tires, suspension each and every day. So.
Okay. And so you say one thing that like I like that you said was you talked about generational wealth. I think that a lot of us, and I tell the people quite frequently, right? And the interview is not about me, but I'm gonna just use me as an example. I just put my 2-week notice in to retire from my corporate job of 16 years. So when I told my grandmother, who is 96, she said, "You're gonna quit that good job." And the one thing that I had to tell my grandma, and it's weird to tell my 96-year-old grandma that it's weird how a lot of us raise our kids to be workers, and a lot of other people raise their kids to be bosses. Mm-hmm. So she's taken aback by the fact that I would leave this Fortune 100 company to do my own thing. So I kind of had to explain that to her. So talk about, do your kids work for you? What do you, go ahead.
Oh, so I understand. I actually, my son passed at the age of, he was 2. So I don't have any grown kids. My wife now, we working on trying to produce so we can pass something down. But my father, he been working with me since I've been in business. So I'm from South Carolina, so I used to have my uncles, my cousins. They used to come down and help every now and then on the tire recycling side. But as of now, it's really just me, my wife, and my father here. So my goal is to build something. So like I say, when I get old or if something happened, Kingz will still be here. So I made the jump at a young age. I'm 37, so I just knew growing up that I wasn't gonna work for nobody. I had to set in my mind. My uncle was an entrepreneur. He always taught me, you gotta have your own. You gotta have your own. I would tell him I was gonna do to make something happen with it. So, to me, generational wealth is the only way. So a lot of people don't understand that. When I hire men to work for me, I don't expect them to stay for me. Don't work for me forever. That's not the goal. You come on, you use me to make whatever money you have to make, gain whatever skill you need to figure out what you're gonna do to build generational wealth for your family. This is not for you. This is my dream, my passion, my vision. You come and you give me a year, 2 years, and it's time for you to move on. I understand. I respect that because I think if it's me be the CEO of his last name and build something that outlives him. So that's my whole goal.
I've always thought that, like you say, bosses make other bosses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like you say, I'm not supposed to be working for you for 20 years. I'm supposed to be here 2, 3, 4 years maybe, and then you're supposed to be saying, "Okay, KP, what you about to do?"
Right.
It's time to go. What's up?
Yeah, that should be the goal. But it takes time. Business is not for everybody. It's a long learning curve to understand how to run, how to slowly but surely train people to move up the ladder with your own company, and to gain the skills that you need to be successful. It's just a long learning curve. Everybody's not going to do that. They say this what the 2%, the 3% of the people in the world are going. It's just what it is. But I know my goal. When I try to hire young. I try to train. I try to give them some type of discipline. So when they leave me, they're going to say, I learned this at Kingz, or Mike taught me this, or I learned this, so and so. And they can move on to be successful in whatever they want to do. So let's switch gears to, are you into racing? Are you into track racing, street racing? How do you feel about, go ahead. I'm into all, he just left. He actually just left. So with my Camaro, we built it to race, but I'm scared to race. So I'm into the full big wheel culture. I try to go to every show that's at Reynolds, especially for someone from that's Atlanta that's racing. I love it. I love it, and it brings my family. My uncle's into it, my dad's into it, my cousins. They come down from South Carolina, and we go to the track and we kick it, and we have a good time at each and every show. So I mean, it's a part of my daily life. But I'm into it, but I'm scared to race.
How do you feel about all those laws that they're passing in Georgia about the street racing and stuff?
To be honest, it's needed, and it's needed for our safety. Because from what I've seen, these younger guys, it's nothing against the younger generation, but it has to be some type of rules and regulation of how you do things. So with all the burnouts and disturbing the peace and going to these neighborhoods and the street racing on the street, doing something on the highway, to me it's reckless, but I understand it because I did a lot of things when I was young as well that the older generation would have considered reckless, but I just don't want anybody to get hurt in the process of learning. So I see it every day. But it just has to be under control. And I understand it. I just understand. I understand it because people will get hurt if they don't put rules and regulations in place. So
well, the guys. I won't say my guys. Our guys in the big rim culture. They attribute a lot of that to the. And please forgive me, Mopar people, if y'all don't hear.
Right.
Please forgive me. I come in peace. They attribute a lot of that to the Mopar people, especially when they blocked off the highway in Atlanta.
Man, that was, man. I go to bed early. I go to bed about 10 o'clock every night, and I watch it the next day on the news, and I'm like, they bold. This younger generation is bold, and they fearless, But that's what we need in our culture. But the energy needs to be channeled somewhere else. But it's just dangerous. It's just too dangerous. They blocking up the highway. They shoot firecrackers. They too bold for me. It's something I could never do. I could never have the courage to stop and even do donuts in the middle of the street. I just couldn't do it. So laws and regulations are needed. It's needed, but they have to have some type of outlet to exert their energy. So that's what the next plan. We have to figure out what we can do as a little bit older generation to help them, figure out how they're going to channel their energy somewhere else and nobody get hurt.
Well, this is the thing. I was talking to Cam recently. Well, probably maybe about 4 months ago, we shot a show up there. And I was telling him that those guys, a lot of them look up to him, right? So remember back when Cut the Check and Monte and all those guys, MJ, they all tried to have a sit down with the younger guys. And I think the reason that they told me that it didn't work was because so for me, I'm big on respect. I respect everybody, young, old, whoever they are. But a lot of those guys feel like you ain't my daddy or you ain't whoever, so I ain't got to respect you. Right. And so it kind of went haywire because they was talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think it is that you guys was considered? Because y'all at age now, right?
Exactly. Man, I get stressed thinking about it. Oh man, I'm up now. Man, it happened so bad. I think that when we have shows and events, we shouldn't exclude the Mopar guys or the younger generation with those cars. I think we should actually have events for them that's catered to them. Everybody loves the old schools. I love the old schools, but we kind of got to figure out a way to bring it together. With that, we have to have some type of allocated space. So when we did come out, it can't just be, Mopars burning out. We got some old school guys some old schools like burning out as well are doing donuts. So we got to really figure out how we can come together and not try to separate the two. Because I got a 2020 Camaro. You got a newer model Camaro. That's in the same range of the Mopar guys. We got to figure out how we can have events together, and then we may be able to reach to you and say, okay, we can't do this, we can't do that, after we get their attention. But right now, just trying to chastise them or slap them on the hand for some stuff they're doing, they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. It's not going to happen.
Well, I'm going to go and creep through. I ain't messing up my tires or my rims or none of that stuff. I'm going to go creep through. Right. I'll be there with them in spirit. I'm going to sit up there and watch wave falls. I'm going to be there. If y'all tell me y'all trying to put something together, I'm coming. I'm going to support. Right. But I don't do donuts and burnouts. I'm sorry. Tires and rims cost a lot. So I ain't doing it. But I'm with y'all in spirit. I love it. I love to watch it. If y'all want to mess up every tire you own, do it.
Right. I understand that.
So tell us about what you where do you see your brand in the next 5 years?
Oh man, well, the ultimate goal is to become I want to be a one-stop shop. So I want to be able to offer, LS swaps. I want to be able to do painting. I want to be able to continue doing the things I'm doing now, but on a larger scale. I'm not interested in opening up any additional locations because I've had multiple locations open at one time, and it's too stressful. It's too stressful because I can't be in but one place at a time. I want to get into ownership. I just feel like our culture should own something in it. If it's a track, if it's some type of brand tire, if it's a wheel, something that we should have that's going to, that we can distribute and say, okay, this person started that. This is where we should go for this, for that, if we want that particular brand. So I'm definitely looking to ownership or something inside the culture that we can say that we started and we can share amongst ourselves. So 5 years is actually kind of, that's close. That's close. But, I want the brand to stay strong. I want to be able to sell more wheels and tires, nationwide. I want to be able to build cars for my customers, in a timely manner. So I want to get like full restoration, just a one-stop shop. So.
But you said you don't want to have any other locations, so you don't want to branch out to other states.
I don't. It's simply because I don't know if when I had my multiple stores, and at the time I had 35 employees, 4 stores, 4 trucks running. It was just too stressful, and I didn't have, I would say, even I was still learning as well to be able to input a system to let it run on its own. But I'm still hands on. I mean, I come to my shop each and every day. I handle 80% of the sales, all of the forged wheel sales, all the suspension sales, lift sales. So I'm still hands on. So I haven't got to the point, so I'm ready to let it go just as yet because it's still my baby. And once you start opening up stuff in other states and other cities, you have to kind of depend on other people to see your vision and grow it as you would, and that's very difficult. That's very difficult. So I actually like having one store, but be able to touch customers through social media nationwide.
What made you come to Atlanta versus any other city or state?
I just saw the opportunity. I was in college selling life insurance, and it just wasn't much for me back in Columbia, South Carolina. I just knew it was more world to see. And so when I came down, I saw us moving. I saw us riding clean. I saw us with nice houses and us doing things. You don't see that back where I'm from. You don't see that in Columbia. And I wanted my piece of the pie. And so at 21, I packed up. I had about $2,000 on my name. My mom's been down here since 96. She moved to Atlanta in 96. So I was back home with my father, all my life. So I just, I came down and stayed with her for a month or so till I got a job. And then I just took off from there.
Why do you think it's so hard for us as a people to collaborate and work together?
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but the issue is ego. Number one is ego. If it was my way, I wanted to put together a committee. A committee to where we say, okay, everybody sit down. You selling this, you selling that, you selling that. Okay, we should all bring the tires in at this price. We have our own controller tires. But it's like we don't trust each other. I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust anybody. I do business with whoever I can to make the customer happy to keep moving forward. But we haven't had a sit down yet. I think certain people in the city should sit down and set rules and regulations of what we should do, what we shouldn't do. We shouldn't be in a price war with amongst each other. We say, okay, we selling this at this price, this at that price, we advertise that price. Don't go out of this, and then we work together on it because there's enough money for everybody. So I think our egos, including mine at times, that you just don't want to, you don't want to have to deal with someone else's emotions of how they do things. And that's I think that's our biggest problem.
Ego, that's a man thing.
It is.
I tell the guys that all the time because, like I told guys, to revert back to racing and what we were talking about. I told them, I said, think about how much money you guys can make. If the goal is money, right? Think about how much money you guys can make if you all get together and do a show together. I'm talking about racers from everywhere, all across the country, all the racers. Think about how many people y'all would have. Y'all would have to have that almost in a stadium because you would have so many people. But because it's so much pride and ego, like I tell them guys, one thing about women, right? We cannot like each other. But if we know we finna get this money, we finna smile and wave and shake hands and kiss babies, and then we gonna go home and talk to our husband about how much we didn't like her, but how much money we made.
I've seen that happen. Well, you're right. I think we all have to understand we all are captains of our own ship. So, but if we hold hands and pull each other together, we can get to our destination a lot faster. And so it's just difficult. It's just difficult. And our egos, everybody want to be the best. Everybody want to sell the most wheels. Everybody want to have the fastest car. That's just me. This is what we do. That's what we do. And, and because we all see things from a different perspective, it's going to be difficult for us to sit down and say, you just do this and you just do that and work together. It's just real hard to do that. So.
In the meantime, us women be wanting to grab y'all and shake the shit out y'all and let y'all know that we can do this if y'all just
Right. I mean, putting the shows together and doing things as one, that should be the goal. But it's I see it all the time, especially in the race world. I'm on everybody live, and I see them going back and forth, which I understand it, but at the same time, every man is different. Every man take pride and joy in what he build, the car he build, his time and effort he put in that stuff, and he wants respect. Every man want to be acknowledged for the things that they do for the industry. So I understand.
Do you think we'll ever see a Tire Kingz ATL show put together? Race?
A race show. I'm working on it, but it's one of the things because I don't have a race car, so it makes no sense for me to put a race show together with no race car. Car show, yeah, we had the Sitting on Route Your Car show last year. We planning a few shows for this year, a couple of free events and one big show we working on. But if I do a race show, it would be with D with SSP. Like I said, that's my buddy. I support everything he do. He build motors for all my cars. So I would rather rally behind him because he has a race car and put my eggs behind him and put a show together so he can showcase his skill and ability. My vision is putting cars together, paint with interior, suspension, that stuff. So that, racing is not the thing. That's not what I'm good at. That's what he's good at. So I'd rather rally behind him and push him forward in the race world.
D, that's my guy. He just bad on returning phone calls. D, if you on here, I'm still waiting for a phone call return from 2017. My buddy, he busy. He a busy guy. He busy guy. For his birthday, I'm gonna get him a new phone. That's the first problem. We're gonna get him an iPhone for his birthday first, so he can answer. And you need to get him a secretary.
Nah, we working on that too. His wife about to step in and start handling a lot of things because once his car release, he's not gonna be able to handle it all himself. I'm successful because my wife, she handles all my business and she blocks a lot of stuff that I should have to deal with. So you gotta have somebody in your corner that's gonna help you build and answer your calls and handle the small stuff so you can focus on the big things. So we're working on it.
So that's a great segue. I was gonna ask next, what's if you could give somebody looking to get into pretty much any type of business, but your type of business, one piece of advice, what would be that one piece of advice you would give them?
Probably start slow. I would say if any business, start slow, do your research. Go work for somebody first in the business that you're in and try to learn as much as possible before you jump into that business. We all want things right now. We want to make this money. We want to start our own business, which is fine, but do your research before because they've made mistakes. Maybe they can help you avoid on the learning curve if you just sit down and just help them for a year. That's where you can cut out a lot of financial loss, time, and everything. So start slow. Build your credit. That's number one. Build your credit. You can't do anything in any business without credit. You may think you have $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. It go fast. Fast and get your paperwork right. I was talking to some other guys today. File your taxes. Get your LLC together. Get your account. You got to have those things in place. So when it's time to grow, opportunities are presented to grow. You're ready. You're ready. So start slow. Learn as much as you can about the business before you jump into the business. Get your credit together, and then whatever you decide to do, you gotta be the best at it. So, like for me, I can't mount a tire. I can't fix nothing. I can't do any of that. But I'm good at finding people to do this stuff for me. But I'm a great YouTube mechanic. I can YouTube and figure out everything to YouTube, but I can't fix nothing. I can't mount a tire, and I never desired to learn. I tried a few times, but in my mind said, if I'm on the tire machine, who's making the sale?
I need you to learn how to mount You should not have said that.
Yeah, I can't.
You gotta learn how to do that.
People work for me. No, Mike ain't. Nah, I don't do. I've mounted a few up to about 20 inches. And my buddy Jermaine, he's worked for me. He's always try to train me. I can't do it. It's too hard.
Right.
So yeah, I can do it to a certain, but I can't get down how they get down. No, I can't do it.
Right. So when you say build your credit, are you speaking of personal credit or business credit or both?
Both. But it's I don't know what people. It's very, very difficult to get business credit without personal credit. I've tried 100 ways to try to get a business credit card, get this, get that in the business name, but I've been unsuccessful because at certain times of being in business because my personal credit wasn't together. But once I got my personal credit together, then other doors start opening up for me. So you have to build that first. You have to show them that you have some type of personal history, that you're responsible for certain things in order to get other things. So build your personal credit first, then start working on your business credit. But all that comes in time. It comes in time as you're on the learning curve. So
right. So I'm gonna tell you, being in this car culture, I don't really see. Let me see. I don't want to say this in a negative way because I don't want them guys to think I'm being funny. So okay. I feel like I see so much of the same thing in the car culture. But when I first seen your car and your truck come through, I was like, look at God. What is that? Who is that? And somebody was like, oh, that's so. I was like, oh, that's him. Because see, the thing about me is, even though I'm on Instagram, I don't have a lot of time to just go through stuff. I'm pretty much making a post, doing what I got to do. I got so much going on, which is a blessing. But when I actually seen it, because the first time I seen it on Instagram, of course, but I didn't never see it like how I seen it when I was out and about. Because I seen you at MJ block party, but I had seen you before, and I was like, oh man, now that's dope. And they was like, oh, that's Tire Kingz. I was like, oh man. Coincidentally, his interview is coming up on my show. So I got to make sure. See, I'm the type of person that I always want to give people their props. And I think that's one thing that we as people have a problem with. We don't want to give people their props. Right. But I'm going to tell you, that truck and that car, them some bad motherfuckers. Let me tell you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I put a lot of thought into that. And building those first two. So, I had a vision, a couple years ago. I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to make sure that, I want everything to match. The goal is for people to see you, remember you, and do business with you. That's the whole thing. Right. So once I start to put my truck together, I start getting a whole lot of truck business in. Everybody wanted truck lift. They wanted this rim, these rims, those rims. Then I said, I'm going to get back in again. I'm going to put me an old school together. And that business started coming. So that was the whole goal. Put these cars together. People can, people to do business with you, specialize in certain things, be the best at it, and, help grow your brand.
And I'm a G-body girl, so it ain't very often that I'm like, oh, I just like that. Now that made me contemplate getting one of them. I was like,
what type of G-body? Monte Carlo? You like Monte Carlo, Regals, Cousins?
Yes,
okay.
Monte Carlo
which one, though?
and Grand Nationals.
Yeah, I like
my Monte Carlo, hopefully, prayerfully, if my car shop is on here, my car shops are on here, prayerfully, my Monte Carlo will be coming.
So you have one now?
Yeah, I have two.
Oh, two Monte Carlo. What, SS, LS?
Two SSs. So I got an 86 SS. That's going to be the cruiser. Okay. The 87 was going to be the race one. It got a roll bar and everything in it. But when they started, I have a low tolerance for BS. I ain't going to lie. And when all the BS started with the racing, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sell the 87 because I'm a Taurus. I got a low tolerance for BS. Really low. It's minimal. So I'm just going to sell the 87, but the 86, that thing right there, big shout out to my car shops. I won't let y'all know who they are right now. But my motor and trans is ready. And my bodywork got started today, and it should be, the bodywork and the paint and everything should be done pretty shortly. And then it's going to another state for the interior.
Okay, yeah. Well, I can't wait to see it. Just throughout it all, just trust the process. That's all I can say.
Listen, man, that's one of the hardest things there is.
Right.
That's one. Listen, what's a piece of advice you would give other than trust the process? What's a piece of advice you would give to the people that's building cars, the customer, not the shops?
Plan ahead. Plan ahead. If your goal is to make it to Wilts by Wade show on June 19, 2021, start your build June 19, 2020 or beforehand. Just plan ahead because nothing goes as planned. You know, and it's not just say shop. Most shops, it's just any shop that's taking in this work. It's manpower. It's manpower and it's physical labor. And we're not robots. We can't get it just done, that done at a certain time. So if you plan ahead, if you do have your dates pushed back, you're okay with it because you're already ahead of the curve on trying to get your car done at a certain date. So just plan ahead. I tell everybody, if you want to ride by the summer, order your wheels in the winter. You know, get your stuff. And while you wait for your wheels to come in, get your suspension done. You know, do that stuff ahead so you won't have these hiccups when it's time to put everything together.
What do you think about people talking about how their car has been in the shop 2 and 3 and 4 years?
From which perspective? From a customer standpoint or being a shop owner? Each and every shop have their strengths and weaknesses, what they're good at. And I think that we have an issue, even me at times, communicating to the customer realistic times. You know what I'm saying? So, and people, a lot of us in the industry don't pay attention to like the wave. Okay, if it's cold, you know, October, November, December, January, those cold months, shops are less busy because people not spending money on the cars. So, you know, you got to get your car in during those months. But being able to communicate to the shop your deadline, what you need done, how you want it done, and staying firm on your time, you know, when you want it done, I think that's the biggest issue. You know, when a customer come to me, they drop their truck off. How long is it going to take to lift my truck and put the wheels on? I always say 2.5 days, maybe 3. I try to give myself more than enough time. So if anything happens, I've already bought myself that extra day. So if you're a customer getting ready to build a car, going to any shop, just be realistic with the shop owner on what your needs are and how fast you want it done. If you tell the shop, oh, ain't no rush, ain't no big deal, I ain't rushing it, they gonna that's what they gonna do. They're not gonna rush it. That's just what it is. Okay, so ain't no time frame on it. Give the shop owners a time. Okay, if I drop it off to you in October, you think I'll be done when? About February? Yeah, I'll be done February. Okay, I'll give it to about March. That's cool. You know, so you have to be understanding and communicate with the shop what you need done and when you need it done by. And then I think that'll cut out a lot of the confusion. But you know, you can't drop a call to get certain things done and just say, hey, I'm gonna drop it off. Just call me when it's ready. Because your car is not the only car they're working on. They're working on multiple cars. So they got to allocate so much time a day for this, so much time a day for that car, so much time for that car to make it make sense. You know, you got to think of a shot for a paint job. If you pay somebody for a $5,000 paint job and they tell you 6 months, break that down by the hour. They make $2,000 over 6 months. So they have to take in multiple cars to make that $2,000.
Right. So you're saying with whatever you do to cars, you usually try to under commit and over deliver. So you're telling them 2.5, 3 days, but you really know it's gonna be done in maybe 1.5 days, maybe 2 at the most.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I try to do it on a consistent basis, and they may say, "Oh, you may take too long," or because the last thing I need for you is I'm gonna be done tomorrow, and every 2 hours you call it, is my truck done, is my car done, is my car done. No, I'm gonna call you when it's ready, because I'm not making money with your vehicle sitting in my shop. There's space that I can bring new money in, so I try to give myself, it'll be done today. No, it's gonna be done tomorrow. I'll call you when it's ready. So. Right. I try to give myself more than enough time. So anything happens, I got more time. And if something happens where I don't deliver on that day, I'm gonna call you and say it's not gonna be done today. I need one more day. Because the last thing I want is you take your vehicle and it come back. Right. It come back with something not being right. So.
Right. And that's with anything in life. Communication is key. You know what I mean? And in business relationships and personal relationships, you got to communicate.
You have to.
So. You're absolutely right. So we have about maybe another 15 minutes. What would you like for your followers, fans, supporters, potential customers to know about Tire Kingz ATL?
The main thing is we stand behind everything that we do. If you come and you patronize my business, something not right, give me a chance. Give me a chance to fix it. If you order some wheels from me, I don't meet the deadline. Before you go on social media and say this, say that, just give me a call. I give full refunds on everything I do. If you order some wheels and they don't come in a timely manner, I give your money right back to you. Because it's easy for me to give your money back and you go find what you're looking for than me to keep stringing you along, it don't happen. It's not going to happen. We do this every day. Everything I offer on an everyday basis that we focus on, and we take our time. We want to do it right. We don't do it right. If we mess up anything, I pay for it. And everybody knows that I go in my pocket and pay for it right on the spot, because no shop is perfect, no individual is perfect. Like I said, we manpower, and one of my men make a mistake, I take full responsibility for it. So
that's the thing. I think that's the thing I most admire about business owners. If you take responsibility for it, ain't no need to going back and forth with me as a customer. If especially if I don't have a history of this with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, we all know, being in business, we got some customers that no matter what you do, it's going to be something wrong. You almost want to just tell them, don't come back. Don't come back. I'm done. I can't with you.
You're right. It's a lot of customers like that. So what I've learned over the years is it's easy for me to say no, then accept the job or accept the responsibility to do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it to the fullest. So I've been saying no a lot lately, and I'm able to sleep better because I don't want to. If you're one of those customers, you come in and nothing's not right. Listen, I thank you for coming, but I can't. My shop can't meet your needs. You know what I'm saying? So if anything happens with the last service, we can take care of it, but it's just best you go somewhere else who can meet your needs. That's just you can't make everybody happy. You can't make them happy. So I just try to take full responsibility for everything that goes wrong. And if I can't, I just have to compensate you for it.
You know what'll fix that too is if, like you said, all y'all have a sit down, because it's probably this same customer that you going through it with that you done had to put out your shop. This other shop going through it, and this other shop going through it, and y'all just need to go ahead and make y'all a little list. Hey man, KP came over here. You said KP? She came over here too.
Right. I mean,
so y'all need to have so I'm with you talking about, y'all need to go ahead and put y'all together. I ain't gonna tell you my name on camera. I'm gonna DM it to you. A conference for all of y'all.
That's what we need for real. We need to. I want to sit down. I mean, I talked about this a couple of years ago, but we need to sit down. I mean, the problem is, like, I think about a year ago, 2 years ago, I used to try to post, all black owned tire shop, all black owned rim shops in Atlanta, and then people would comment, on that, and negatively. I didn't want any negative comment towards that business. I want. You have to go see your own experience, get your own experience in that business. If it don't go right, okay, it don't go right. But I want to be able to. We should all be able to sit down and come have some level of understanding of how we're gonna do business instead of being at war. If I have a tire for sale for $150, I'm not saying, you have to sell a tire for $150. No, what I'm saying is, if they call you, our price should be close. We wouldn't say, so and so got it for $145. Can you beat his price? Like, nah, I would say, well, go to so-and-so, he has a better deal with me. Because if I price something, I've sat down, I've thought about it, I've seen how much money I need to make off of this deal or off of this service, and I feel like that's what's best for my company. Right. So, just having to sit down and having some type of understanding of how each one of us do business, so that way we won't be calling from shop to shop to shop, and this person said this and this person said that, because everybody don't do things the same way.
Well, even if y'all just ease into it, I think most things, most relationships or most great relationships start with a great meal. So why don't y'all just put it together where once a month or once every 2 months, y'all all just go to dinner. You know what I'm saying? And then wherever the conversation lead, that's where it lead. And then we ease into it. Because see, that ego come into play with what you talk about, right?
Yeah, it does.
So y'all just ease in. Just go have a nice dinner.
Right.
And if y'all talk about business, that's cool. And if y'all don't, that's cool too.
Right.
So next time,
we may need you to put it together.
Hey, listen, I'm on it. You know I'm on it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to move back there, so I'm on it.
Right. I thought you used to be at Moose Shop all the time. I thought you always lived here. Like, I
split my time, but now I'm taking what LeBron said when he was taking his talents to South Beach. I'm taking my talents to ATL.
Back to ATL. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, I really appreciate you sitting down, taking time out of your busy schedule. I see you still at work, so you probably about to go back to work. So I appreciate it. Any last thing you want to say before I let you get out of here?
Oh, nah. Just thank you everyone for who tuned in. Follow me on Facebook. My personal Facebook is Mike Ty Kingz Thompson. I post a lot of my activity on there, a lot of shows, a lot of my bills. The business, Ty Kingz ATL. We active on that every day. If you come to do business with me and it don't work out, I still speak to you at shows and everything. Everything's good. So just follow us, keep up. We trying to grow and get better each and every day.
Okay. So thank you. I appreciate you sitting down with us. And where can we catch you next?
This weekend we got Mr. 107 Motorsports April. He's having a customer appreciation day on Sunday. We're a vendor at Track Fest at Easy for Easy Money next Saturday. I think after that we'll be in Huntsville, Alabama. It's a big show down there that we're gonna take the cars to. So I'm working on my 91. The 91 should be done in about another week. Mario at KK Customs, his crew, he's going back through it, make sure everything's good on it. I'm about to put together my wife's Jeep, about to jack her up, put some wheels on her truck. So I'm gonna be releasing some new vehicles, some new black and yellow vehicles in the next 3 months. So about 3 or 4 more cars about to drop. So I
can't wait to see them.
I'm trying to make it to every show possible.
I cannot wait to see them. Black and yellow. You really making me. You know what? I'm staying with what I got. I can't do it. I can't do it. My car's not on me. I'm not changing.
Right? Yeah. You got. I like the color of your car. You should paint your Monte Carlo the same color.
No.
That's I like that blue.
Hot Shots did me some custom paint, so I got to do that.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be nice.
It will. So thank you again. I really appreciate you, and we'll catch you. I guess we'll see you. For the people that are going to be at Easy Show next weekend or at the show this weekend, I guess they'll be able to catch you there. And until then, tell everybody how to contact you. They can call you. How do they need to go online? What do they need to do?
I'm active all day, so it's at Ty Kingz ATL. I try to respond to as many DM as possible. You can call us 770-739-0101. If you're my Facebook friend, if I haven't responded to your message, I apologize. But I post my cell phone number, my business number on all platforms. So, just bear with us if we try to respond to everybody. But any platform, we try to get back to you.
All right. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you for joining us today and talking rims and tires and business and all the things we discussed today. So thank you, and please make sure you come back one day. Oh, definitely.
I'll wait for probably the
round 2
invite. Round 2. We'll do round 2 at the end of the year. So we can save this interview and you're gonna post it everywhere?
Yeah. So what happens is after we get off, I record it and then I upload it to YouTube, and the link is in my bio.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye. So for